Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani and I welcome you in this daily Hindu analysis video in the morning. These videos come in the evening, MCU lessons they come. So 6th of September it is, and important issue, one article that is related to a social situation, a particular nationalistic issue, the basic nationalistic issue of education, teachers training, and by Krishna Kumar, this excellent issue is raised. And yesterday it was Teachers Day, and today this article means a lot. So we will discuss that, and we will discuss some issue of commercial vehicles and the need of the hour, the changes which are expected in the GST for the BS4 engine vehicles and all, and we will discuss those. So let's start the lesson. Pocket News app is trending on Google Play, and regarding these courses, the description is given below the video. You can call on these numbers and inquire about any of these courses, and the chat section is available here. PDF you will get here on this Facebook group, and you will also get the Telegram channels link there. So both the places PDFs are there. You can follow me on Instagram too. These are some words that I found today, and please use them into sentences. Now, an article important for GS paper 2 and 3. You see, we have been discussing this issue that the policy transmission is a bigger problem today. If we talk about these decisions which are taken, the announcements which are done, RBI looks at the situation and it decides whether they need to infuse some money in the market or they need to suck some money from the market. If the inflation is high, then they need to suck the money, suck the liquidity, and if the inflation is low and they see the demand is low, then they need to infuse the money. So this time, for infusing the money as a expansionary method, because it is expansionary method when interest rates are coming towards the lower side, means low interest rate means people will be able to take more loans. They will go to markets, they will go to they go for some investments and all, because the loans are available on a lower interest rate. So this is the expansionary measure, and this is taken as a step by RBI as a policy decision when inflation is low. Today inflation is low, demand is also low, and it's a kind of a depressive state, and automobile sector all-time low sales are going on. So this time we need more liquidity infusion, and for that we need to lower the interest rates there. So RBI has done its part, but the transmission is not happening because the banks, the commercial banks which actually give loan to people, they are not able to transmit these lower interest rates, because their cost of these funds, these loans which they are going to give to the people, their operational costs are high, and this problem is going on for many years now. Now in 16 year, when they introduced MCLR regime, that was a kind of a important benchmark that is being followed today by all the commercial banks. Here there was an issue. What was the issue? If you take care about the consumers, then you go for lower interest rates, and their banks struggle. If you take care about the bank situation, then you raise the interest rates, and here the consumers will struggle. So both ways it is not a satisfactory situation. So the MCLR system came where both of them will be satisfied expectedly. How? Because operational costs will be taken as an important observation, and then they will decide individual interest rates for important loans. They will study all these loans, and individually they will decide a particular rate, and additional spread will be there, means that spread which they add into these important benchmarks, that raises the interest rate. RBI said that fix this spread. Okay, so the spread is fixed for a particular category. So all the lenders uniformly they are following this rule, and now if the loans are repo rate linked, then what's going to happen? Then the installments and the EMIs and the terms and all, these all will be fluctuating according to the repo rate changes. If the repo rate is coming down, then the installments will also be coming down. If the repo rate is going up, then the loan will be expensive, and the installments they will go towards upside. So that's the simple situation if they link these loans to the repo rate, and that is the thing that the government is announcing now, and RBI has finally decided that we will address this problem of inadequate interest rate transmission head on. We will take this thing because we have tried our best and we have brought repo rate to 5.40, but this is not being transmitted by the commercial banks. So now banks need to adjust here. So that's the issue. And some loans like personal loans, retail loans, MSME loans, they will be totally repo rate linked. And normally people confuse this thing with the situation. They think that repo rate linked means the cheaper loans. It is always not the case, because if the repo rate is gonna go high, then these rates will also go high. But today we need these cheaper loans. So today is the situation that repo rates are coming down. That's the thing, and it is the need of the hour. So they are going to link these repo rates with these important loans. So that thing will be followed, and policy makers which are very much concerned about this poor transmission, now they are going to take care of this issue. Monetary Policy Committee MPC that came in 2016, and as you know, 6 members are there. So they decide about this inflation situation, and ultimately the monetary policy with these these repo rates, they decide about that. So it is headed by RBI governor, and they decide about these changes in the repo rates. So now they are taking care about the transmission issue, policy transmission issue. That is very much poor right now, and they will make it very robust. Means whatever repo rate transmission they want, whatever situation they want in the economy, that impact must be there. If they are lowering this repo rate, then the impact must be there, because the impact they do not see, because impact will only be there if the commercial banks, they will transmit these rates to the customers accordingly, but they are not doing that. So that's the problem. Only 1/3 of that since February they have done that, and since February 110 basis points, means 1.1% rate has come down for repo rate, but the same transmission is not there with the commercial banks. So that is the issue, and that's why it's important, and we have been discussing this issue for 2 weeks now. Next, teaching in the time of consumerism. You see, consumerism means you make an investment, then you get some output there and you get some profit. If education is taken in the same way, then nothing can be more devastating for the knowledge system of a country, an aspiring country, a developing country, and a very unequal country where too much inequality is there, and one of the worst places for the poor people to survive, and one of the best places for the rich people to survive there. I mean, rich people to enjoy, not survive, to enjoy there, and that is the country India. Now Krishna Kumar, as a veteran, he is raising this concern. Yesterday it was the Teachers' Day, and today he is writing about the teachers' career, their situation, and the public schools, and these situations of the knowledge systems, learning systems, and teacher training, and all these issues. Like he said, if somebody wants to be something, then obviously it will not be a school teacher. Means it's not a well expected or well aspired career for young ones, that's for sure. And maximum places in this country where these graduates are there, if you will ask them, then they do not want to become a teacher. Maybe in some urban areas, in some metropolitan cities, if they are paid well in some some rich public schools, then they may choose that. But that will also not be on the first priority. First priorities are the common things like professional courses like engineers, doctors, and all these things are very much famous in this country. But you see, everything needs proper education. We were the world gurus, since ancient times. We have given one thing to this world, that is the knowledge. All our philosophical understandings, our knowledge systems, everything is giving knowledge there. But in the same country, it is the worst condition of the education system. And teaching as a career, which is a noble profession, the most important profession, and it is treated as most important in some countries like Germany, Sweden, Norway, Australia, these kind of countries. And it is a well aspiring career for graduates there, for the students there. But it is not the case in this country. And you see, one thing in a straight way maybe it's negative, but in a straight way we can say about the laughable education system of this country. There are layers, and if somebody would come from somewhere else from these progressive countries to India, then that person will laugh surely on our education system. At one side there are poorest people. If they are getting education, those places are the government schools, and there the system we know means if the person is committed, if the teacher is committed, and there is no interference, and there is you may say something creative as a thought, and they want to change the society, they want to exploit the opportunities, then only in some schools, in some areas, proper education is there and good effort is going on. But most of the times it is so problematic and so backward the system is that nothing you can expect out of it, and there these poor kids are struggling with their early years of life, where maximum development happens, maximum psychological development happens, and there they see these unprogressive, backward and hindering environment there. Next, the medium class and the particular you may say mediocre system of education, that is the public schools which are there in the small towns and the urban areas. Since 90s, after their phase started, their era started, you may say, because maximum number of students are getting school education in the public schools, and they are just money minded most of the times. They do not know the proper ways of education, they do not know the world standard, they do not know what is needed for that adolescent kids, and they just want to survive there, taking good fees and still promoting a tuition culture after their school timing, and the same teachers, they are promoting that culture. So this is really a laughable situation. Means you are paying too much money for the education, and the education is not proper, and then you go for tuitions and coachings and all, and you expect that great professional careers we will get there. So it is all aspirations, but the demands are not met. Students, some of them are very struggling, very hardworking, means excessively hardworking, and most of them are not even interested in that hard work, because the proper balanced culture is not there, proper balanced society is not there, proper balanced psychological development is not there in the people who are parents, and this is the result, that the students are not getting education in a balanced way. So this background explains a lot. Next, the richest category, where people take education as an investment. They do not give much importance to the education, first of all, in a practical sense. Means they pay lakhs of rupees of fees. Maybe they are expecting, maybe they are running businesses, so they do not expect much from the professional careers, and they pay fees and they take it as investment. Means this many lakh rupees we are investing, and then we must get some output there, and it is all the standard that we must maintain there, and other people from the rich society, they are enrolling their kids in these rich schools. So there is no a question of asking about any compromise on the school fee or something like that. Whatever they want, whatever they demand, whatever donation they demand, we will pay that, and it is all going very well. So those people are enjoying lives in this country, and they have actually established a particular culture of the commercialization of the education there, and there these private universities are also going on, and total devastation they have done for the higher education. School culture, the rich private school culture which they have established, that is also making the whole system of education as commercial system. Only money minded people are running these schools, and they are paying to these teachers, and focus on a real education, knowledge and practical psychological development is less, and more decorative things, celebrated things, and theme based celebrations of many events. And you see, in India there is no dearth of occasions like festivals are coming, some other issues are coming, every time they need some money, and they will pass those times in those celebrations and with those less necessary things. Means those things are also required, the overall development must be there. But first of all, that overall development with the extracurricular activities and excessive extracurricular activities, that development is happening for a very small section of students in this country. Those are rich people, and their focus must be more on a professional knowledge system, but that is less than that. And they are cultivating the culture of commercialization of education. So this is all a very gloomy picture of our knowledge society, and that's why these layerings, if we see, of education, and these are social layering also, means it is based on the capacity of the parents, that how much they can pay. Means nobody will ask for compromise in the school fee, and whatever they will demand, they will pay. So it is all based on their capacities. So this is how these schools are running, and colleges are running, and none of them is delivering the satisfactory level there. So that is the problem. Now, vast majority of teachers are being hired today, and they get their trainings in poorly equipped institutions. Means most of the students are getting education in these public schools and all, and nobody knows about their required level of professionalism. Many issues we see, and what kind of education they are able to give to the students. There is no standard fixed. So that's why for the last 2-3 years they have been emphasizing a lot on this issue, and the teachers training is much more important today than it was ever before. So these initiatives are very good by the government. They have doubled the term of the B.Ed course, and integrated 4 years course they are also running. But you see, these things only will be fruitful if this whole background is changed, and this commercialization that ends for the education. Otherwise this country will be ruined for sure. That will be ruined, because today if you see a reality, then the students who are extremely laborious, who are ready to do hard work, their own struggle, their own hard work is giving the result. There is very less role of these mediocre institutions. Means if you are able to fight these competitions, you are that much laborious, then only you are getting good careers. Otherwise your degrees, your hi-fi schools and all, these things are less important today. I cannot say that these things are not important, but they are very less important in its sense, because they are not delivering much, and they have ruined actually education system, which must be a universal system, and a proper level must be maintained by all the levels, whether it is a government school or whether it is a public school. A standard must be maintained, and there must not be a huge difference. But you just compare a student from a government school in an urban area and a student from the same class from a rich school, you cannot have any kind of similarity there, and it looks like those two are alien to each other. And every day there are evidences in front of us, we can see that. So who has done this joke with our educational system? This is all a mismanagement, and the license Raj in a way, which was started after the NCTE became a statutory body. A lot of good things they could do, but a lot of destructions we have seen in last 25 years, because in 1993 it became a statutory body. Before that it was a important department within NCERT, and after that the teachers education, which it is taking care of, because it is Council of Teachers Education, NCTE, that aim they have not delivered, and that's why mediocre teachers, less capable teachers are teaching, and maximum number of students, they are dependent on their own hard work even after they have paid thousands or lakhs of rupees of fee. So that's the situation, and that's why we need to hit the roots here, and a drastic change is needed here, because they have brought a drastic change in our schooling system in the last 25 years. So this must be reversed, because it has not delivered anything, and the unemployment situation today, the roots are there with this problem. Okay, NCT was an advisory body, but it acquired legal teeth with this act, and it has changed the whole landscape of the education, and it has become a commercial education, public school education. And because this article is mainly focused on the school education, so the things which are extremely disturbing, we are discussing on those things. And you see, we are discussing these things with much intensity. I'm criticizing this system a lot, because this is the harsh reality, and every day in the newspaper we see all these problems, because these are very serious issues. They are destroying the knowledge system in this country. And what you can expect here, you see, can you expect a great future for these students who are getting education in the government schools? Can you expect a better citizenship in this country in the future, which these students will make? Can you expect from these public schools? Because the culture which is there in these schools, that is not a proper psychological development, and all kinds of problems we see. You see, there are many examples of sexual abuse, there are many examples of psychological abuse, and you see the caste issues are huge problem in the backward areas, in villages. Still you see the Dalit students are eating in a separate line now. So these kind of problems are there in these schools. So out of this ambience, can you develop a proper society tomorrow? No. Can you give them proper careers? No. And even in the richest class, what you can expect there? And how many examples you have that they have achieved great careers and they have given a great contribution in the nation building? The examples are very less, because that is also very much symbolic of a rich society, those rich public schools, because they are also not delivering in a great way. And these schooling institutions are there. Instead of that, we have a great tuition culture in this country. So this is all a mess, and it is very difficult to explain the complex situation here. We need to hit all the problems there, because we experience these things in all practicality every day. And that's why the writer said that a drastic change is needed, and this commercialization, and you may say flood of commercial private interests, that must end, because some businessmen are earning maximum in the schooling businesses, these rich schools which they have constructed, and they are earning lakhs of rupees of donation, and there is no regulation on those things, because there is a nexus between the regulatory authorities and these institutions. That's for sure, because without that these things are not possible. This thing is not possible that in a same street there is a government school, and there these teachers which are coming, they are not interested in teaching, or maybe if they are interested, then students are not interested. And in this urban area on the same street, you will have a 5-star building of a school where only the richest kids are coming, and there is a practical interaction, means both these students, they see each other every day, but there is a difference of day and night. So this situation is not good for this country. Inequality is responsible for that. But schooling can be standardized. Schooling for all the kids can be standardized, as it is there in some of the most developed countries. We can apply those things, but you see, that thing needs a lot of honesty, integrity, concern, and a proper dedication, and especially by the political classes, especially by the bureaucracy, especially by the regulatory authorities. And as we are discussing the NCTE case here, then all these officials and the authorities, they need all these sincerities, and they know what are the problems, but the highest level protection is there for these public schools and public institutions which have ruined this knowledge society. So that's the issue, and all these problems you can write in points because these are based on realities, and in the mains you can easily discuss those points. Okay, so infrastructure is a big problem in the state funding, and actually government is not interested in this infrastructure funding, and that is why the private culture is developed, the commercialization is going on. Whatever infrastructure government cannot build, these private players are building, and instead of a standard fee, they are taking 100 times more fee there, because they have created these 5-star buildings, or maybe these great infrastructure they have developed that government must have developed for the students, but this is being developed by these private players, and it doesn't matter. The owner of those institutions, those educational institution, is a criminal, is a politician, or is a money-minded person. That doesn't matter, because it is all a commercialization problem there. So these are issues, and we need all these important issues. These culture of para-professionals who are struggling a lot to survive, means the guest faculties, the assistant teachers. This new whole culture is developed where the proper training is needed, but for that infrastructure is needed, state spending is needed, and the universalization of the education is the prime need today, because without that nothing will change. The teacher eligibility tests and all, these are all a kind of a requirement for the competitive exams and all, and this is all focused a system on giving some jobs and not on the proper noble profession of teaching. Okay, somebody will discuss TET exam, CTET, and or the state TETs and all. These are all recruitment requirements. These are not requirements for upgrading and universalizing this education system. So that's why they are bringing a marginal difference in the teaching quality. We need a overhaul change there. So this is all, and one article is left, that is regarding the pedal to the metal, this commercial vehicle segment, and the need of the, are they expecting GST changes in the BS4 and all. I will discuss this issue tomorrow. From tomorrow these lectures will be coming on time, and I was stuck in many issues, some shifting issues and all, and the scheduling problems are also there. So I will take this article and one article which I left yesterday, so I will discuss both of them tomorrow and day after tomorrow. So thanks a lot, keep watching. It was Amit Sani. And the last article that we discussed, that is relatable with the GS paper 1, 2, 3, 4 and essay section, all of them, because education is related to all the issues. Thanks a lot, keep watching. It was Amit Sani.